SteelSeries might have just released the best all-around wireless gaming headset from comfort, features, and price point. That's with their new Arctis Nova 3 wireless gaming headset. Let's go on and dive in and check these out. But first, taking a look at what we get inside our box, and as you see, we are taking a look at the 3X, the Xbox version, which by the way, yes, it does work on every single platform. It does also come in a P version, which is white. I'm not sure if they have those in black as well, but they do have a P version for PlayStation, but this works on PlayStation. We'll get into that later on. Of course, you're gonna get your headset over here. You get your little charge cable, USB-C to C, by the way. You get your microphone, which it's feeling a bit different. Number one, you get the little pop filter windscreen on it, and take a look at the microphone. It's looking a little bit different than some of their other ones. So we'll do that microphone test later on and see how it sounds. You get your dongle, and as I mentioned, how you can use this on all platforms. As you see, you got the little switch on there. So whoops, if I can hold on to this, you got PC and Xbox. Nice little tiny slim USB-C dongle. And you also get the adapter in case you don't got a port like on the Xbox or you only got USB-A. Bam, plug that in, pop it in there, and you're good to go. But again, really cool to have that switch right there so it'll work on every single platform. But of course, most importantly is going to be the comfort of this headset. And let me just tell you straight up, these things are stinking cozy. But let me go on and show you before I just spit my words out here. Slapping them on the scale, coming in at 250 grams, incredibly lightweight. If we go over here to pounds, we're underneath a pound at 8.8 ounces. Like, oh my goodness, this headset is incredibly lightweight, which yes, the build is completely plastic. We'll talk about that in the build, but focusing on comfort, as you see, you have that full swivel, ear cups go all the way out, a little bit in. You got that floating headband design, which is, you got the adjustments on each side, but you also have adjustment within the forks here, and they hold a nice tension right there. I never caught these accidentally slipping on me or anything. Really, really nice, all the adjustability you have within these. Now, as far as the ear pads, pretty similar to what we're used to with SteelSeries, right? That nice sports weave material out there. But take a look at the inside. That pleather comes up a significant amount more. Back in the days, it was almost tucked down into there. So it definitely locks in some of that bass and immersion that we're going to talk about in sound. And yes, they are replaceable if you want. But again, with the lightweight and the medium clamping force of this headset, I don't catch myself wanting to change these ear pads. My ears aren't touching the drivers in there. I'm not getting pinched or anything. Really nice combination here. I mean, no joke. The comfort of this headset is absolutely phenomenal. Now, me with a bald head here, like just putting it on, the clamping force is right on that line of medium, as I stated there. So it's not incredibly tight. It's not loose. I don't feel it moving around. And that's that combination of the incredibly lightweight and that perfect clamping force. Now, this will differ person to person for sure, but I'm just telling you what, like I never wanted to take this headset off. It was so phenomenally comfortable, like hands down, stinking cozy. Great job on this SteelSeries. But I know some of you are concerned about the build being all plastic, and I can sit here and twist them up and not get worried they're doing what they need to do. But better yet, let me roll this really cool video that SteelSeries made on the durability. So again, even though this headset is completely plastic, it feels very solid. I love the combination of the lightweight, the incredible comfort, and the durability. Now let's go and talk features and functions on this headset, which is packing a lot for, again, a budget wireless gaming headset. Number one, your microphone mute button, and you do have a tone in there whenever you mute it and activate it. You also have your volume wheel, nice tactile steps, but you can actually hold this down and you'll get a tone in the headset, and then you can use game to chat adjustment. I got this to work on console. SteelSeries told me that it does work on PC with Sonar active. I couldn't get it to work, but when I was on Xbox, it would work. You just hold it down, boop, and then you adjust your game to chat. Really cool to have that feature in there. Right down here is your power button or your Bluetooth button, which you can just press it. It'll cycle over to Bluetooth, and again, you get voice prompts in the headset. USB-C charging down here, and then you have your microphone port. Now, another really cool thing on this headset is the battery life. You get 30 hours via 2.4 and then 40 hours via Bluetooth, and then you also have fast charging. So 15 minutes of charge will give you 9 hours of battery life. So plenty of juice to game all day long with this headset. Now, you've been seeing my phone in the background here, and why that is because you do have the Arctis app controlled through this headset here. So we're in Bluetooth mode. You can see it beep in blue here. We're going to come over here, tap the app, search again, and it'll connect up for us. Bam, and we're right into the headset. So right now you can see you got settings for 2.4 and Bluetooth. So you got multiple EQs here, tons of EQs, like holy smokes, too many to choose from, right? And then you also have these Sonar options to choose from right on your app. Like, oh my goodness, the amount of customization you have right here is amazing. And yes, if you saw in there, you do have your custom, which you can set on the PC. Bam, come over here, and then you can select it right here and then go to custom as well. But so cool to have this many adjustabilities or customization options within the sound. Come down here, you got your volume, as you see right on the rocker here, but it doesn't adjust. It's different for, again, the headset. So you got your wheel right here, and then you got this adjustment right there. As you see, it's not adjusting one to the other. Same thing on PC. So if you're on PC, make sure you crank up your PC all the way, and then you crank up the headset all the way to really get that boost out there. You got side tone, which we'll talk about in the microphone in a second when I go over to the PC. Volume limiter, make sure you turn this off because that is really going to boost your volume. If you turn it on, your volume is going to drop down significantly. Then you got this extended range mode, which it states that'll reduce the microphone quality. I tested extended range mode, and yes, I was able to walk a little bit further, but I don't think the trade-off's worth it. Like, it might have been, I don't know, maybe 10 feet more or something. I'm going through walls and doors and such, but I just leave it off. It's perfectly fine. I'm not walking that far away from my headset anyways. But again, the cool thing I showed you here is, again, you got Bluetooth settings, and then coming over here, you also have your 2.4 settings. So different settings per each whenever you cycle through them. But the really cool thing is, even if I'm in 2.4, I can actually use the app still and adjust EQs in the game. So you don't have to cycle the headset over to Bluetooth to be able to adjust your EQ. You can be in game using 2.4, but still using the app via Bluetooth and still adjust your EQs in game, so you can tell which EQ and sample each EQ in game. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so now that we had a good look over of the app controls, I want to put you over to the PC. We'll take a look at GG, the settings in there, and then Sonar as well. And by the way, while I'm testing this, you're going to be hearing the microphone. And this is usually the one area where SteelSeries has always struggled. We all know their microphones have been airy and just very tinny. Right now, again, that is what you're hearing, and you're hearing it in its core. I'm not using Sonar right now. I don't have any tweaking. This is just straight up the microphone, plugged, played, and pressed record. And I did listen to a playback before, and I was shocked on how much better it sounded than the previous SteelSeries microphone. It definitely got a little bit more body. It's a little more natural, right? It doesn't sound like that constant walkie-talkie. But anyways, that's what you're going to be hearing throughout this here. Let's swing over to the PC and take a look at some customizable settings. And first off, taking a look at just basic core engine, let's go on and select our Nova 3X wireless. And right here, again, you got all those EQs to choose from, just like we saw in the app. The app honestly had more than GG. We got to get into Sonar here to activate it. So again, it's super cool, the customization you have within the app. Over here, again, you got 2.4 in Bluetooth. Now, if I select Bluetooth here, it's automatically going to switch it on the headset, and my mic will cut out. So I'm not going to do that right now, but you do have multiple settings in here for Bluetooth in 2.4, just like we saw in the app. Coming down further, microphone volume. Right now, we are set to 10. You got your mic side tone, which, by the way, we're set on 2. And this is a really nice side tone. It's not like screechy or piercy by any means. It almost sounds like I got an open back pair of headphones. Now, when I come up any further, like I would say like right at 5, definitely around 6. And of course, when you come up to 10, it does start getting kind of into like that old school phone call type or walkie-talkie type sound. So I don't know, me personally, 2 is like a really sweet spot. It's not like intrusive to your microphone or your audio or anything. Really nice side tone right there. Over here, mic preview, volume limiter. Again, turn this off so you can get that nice punchy volume out of it. And then coming over here to settings, basic power off, and that extended range mode, and then your reset. All right, so now let's go and take a look at Sonar. And again, you're still going to be hearing the microphone, and there's a lot more settings in here. So I want you to stay tuned for this as well. But anyways, going over to the PC, we're all used to, again, the deep dive of sound that you can adjust here, which, again, you got all the preset EQs that you choose from, like, holy smokes, you know what I mean? You got all that in the app too, which is super cool. But you got a few extra settings in here as far as bass, voice, treble, just making it a little bit simple right there. Pretty cool to see that. You got spatial sound adjustment. You got volume boost, and then again your smart volume. You got a lot of cool settings in here. And then these favorites, like that's super cool to have in there, right? So a lot of cool stuff as far as the sound. But what I'm more curious about is the microphone. So let's come over here. You got equalizer, and again you got some presets in here. You can set your favorites, create
create your own customs and whatnot. But what I'm more curious about is this ClearCast AI noise cancellation. So anyways, when you come in here to adjust this, this isn't on the app. I wish this was on the app. This is pretty cool. Make sure you're not over here in chat. You want to be over here in microphone, as I made this mistake before as well. But anyways, I'm going to type on my keyboard right now, right in front of me. Now I'm going to clap in front of me. This is with the AI noise cancellation off. Let's click it on, and we are at 50%. Same test. Clapping. That was with the noise cancellation at 50. Let's crank it up to 100 and see if we get any difference here. Same test. Clapping in front of me. So that's the test with the AI noise cancellation to see if we have any difference there. Let's go and turn it back off. And one thing you're noticing when I turn it on and off, we're losing this noise reduction. Bam. And it tells you right here, actually, you're losing that, but you still get your compressor and noise gate. So a lot of cool settings in here as far as the microphone. I hope they bring at least the AI noise cancellation to the app. That would be pretty cool because that's definitely beneficial, especially if you've got a noisy environment. So anyways, that's the microphone test and the software. Let's go on and talk about sound.
Now, they got 40mm drivers with a frequency range of 20 to 22,000. And you saw in the settings and customization, there's tons of adjustability. So when I'm talking about my sound or my gameplay, again, take that with a grain of salt because you can really tweak it and adjust it to what you're playing. If you're just hardcore FPS or story, or you're just listening to music or movies or something like that, all the settings are in there for you to adjust. But talking about my situation, I am playing a ton of Destiny again lately. It's just one of those games I can't stop playing. Been playing that game for like 10 years, going on 11 or whatever it is now, you know? That game, I just bleed it, you know what I mean? But anyways, the cool thing about that game is the weapons and abilities. There's so many different sounds going on. You got dialogue, you got many different enemies, and you got environments, you know? So it's really cool game to test headsets, I really think. You got a mixture of everything. You got FPS and stuff, you know what I mean? And it's really cool because you get that immersion with this headset, but you also get like that body in detail. I will tell you, again, you all know I primarily use headsets with like graphene drivers, and I swear by graphene drivers. And that's one area where I think the threes could maybe fall off a little bit, is some of that separation. Like if you get in a high intense, just action-packed scene, a lot of enemies going on and stuff, it doesn't get muddy, but it's almost jumbled, like you got maybe a little bit too much going on there, when like a graphene driver will kind of tone things down a little bit. Hopefully that makes sense if you use graphene drivers, or heck, even like planar magnetics, kind of same type of situation where it kind of tones things down, lets that separation kind of step in there. With these, again, it kind of becomes a little bit full in that instance right there. But even when I played a little bit of Call of Duty, I don't grind it as much as I used to. I still, again, get that separation, I get those footsteps, I get those reloads and everything. It's just, say again, a score streak, you got the bomb coming by or a grenade right next to you, you will get that fullness in that split second. So that might fall off for like competitive FPS right there. But again, talking about my situation, playing a lot of Destiny, Assassin's Creed, a lot of story games right now, it does what I want, and you can truly tweak it to which game you want or situation. And one side note, as far as using like Sonar, adjusting the EQs, whether you're on your phone or in the PC or something, don't just go to like, if you're playing Assassin's Creed, click Assassin's Creed. If you're playing Call of Duty, click Call of Duty. Because honestly, I left it on Assassin's Creed Mirage the most of the time. I really liked it. It boosted up my highs a little bit, brought out that dialogue and that environment a bit. Even though I'm playing Destiny, I left it on Assassin's Creed Mirage, and it was just a sound that I preferred. Again, it can be totally different for you. Maybe you want more bass, you want completely less bass or something. You can tweak it to what you want, and you notice that difference. And again, the coolest thing is being able to adjust it on the phone, even when you're in 2.4, so you're in your game, and you can just cycle through. Boop, let me try that EQ. Nah, that's not what I like. Let me try that EQ. Nah, and you can just cycle through, and you can hear the difference live in time while in your game. You don't got to switch back and forth to Bluetooth in one or the other. You're going to find that true sound for you. Like, it is so awesome. Again, the versatility and adjustability of this headset per user. It's not just, you know, extra bass, extra treble, bass and treble, or something like that. You really get to tweak it to what you want in-game and find what you want. The simplicity and adjustability of it is stinking awesome. I love it. And again, the sound, it does what I want. The only thing, again, that I would say I would like to see in the future is maybe when they come out with their new Pros or something, that SteelSeries takes that step up 2 graphene drivers. Of course, if they were graphene drivers in this headset, it wouldn't be a budget headset. But maybe later on in the Pros, the new Pros, if they or when they come out, they'll go to graphene drivers. That'd be pretty sweet. So if you stuck through this video, you know my overall verdict on this headset. Everything it's packing, from that awesome durability to the amazing stinking cozy comfort to the awesome universal sound to the settings and customization, the app control, the flexibility from all platforms. If you're using the X version, the P version, again, won't work on Xbox. But most importantly, and great about this headset with everything it has, coming in at 120 bucks, that is a total value there. Good job, SteelSeries. And yes, I highly recommend this headset. It is packing so much at 120 bucks.